So welcome back guys. So we'll be picking it up from where we left. So let's run our previous project and see the milestone we achieved. So if you can remember, we were able to read from our database. That's from the table department. That was our last milestone. So today we will be continuing with to link employees with the department so that we can register employees. So let's get started. So we need to make changes to our navigation, which is found here in shared layout. Here it is. So we need, this is home index. So this should be register department, register departments. Then we need to register employees. Then this should be register employees. Then we need to create an action which will public action result. We need to create a view to register the employees. Then let's return a partial view. So let's add our view here, which is register employees, and this is how we add our views. Yeah, guys, here I'm on time. Here is our view. So to look more alike like our index for the employee to add department, so just affect some few things. This should be register employees. Then I think the first name. Let's, and if you can remember clearly, we said that the name in the, let's start here, first name. The name in DB should match the name in the name here. So that's first name. So we'll just copy this and add several the second name, which is also a text and should match the name in our database here. So let's add second name, our name in the database. That's it. Then we need the date of birth, the DOB, the date of birth for our employees, DOB, and then we need this to be required to not to send to register employees without first names, the rest. So also our second, our date of birth, which is DOB in the database, and the type should be date here. Don't forget that. Then we should have required. They should not be able to save if you have not texted that input. Then from date of birth, we need an ID number, an ID number, an ID number, ID number or passport number, and this is it. Our ID number should be this. Our ID number should be that, and this should be number. And then we need Then we need to add something else like the phone number. The phone number. Let's call it phone. And the name should be phone number. Then this should be there to limit phone numbers. Then we need to add our email, our email. Then there should be email to authenticate, and here it is, our email. So lastly, we need to, how do we link this employee with our departments? So this is how we do it. So we need this to copy this, put it here. So department name. Then here we need a select option, which will list all the existing departments in our table, and then let's list those departments here. We can list them from here. Let's call variable data equals, let's call it dep to avoid confusion, equals to key. So we need to initialize our entities, YouTube entities, db equals to new key. So YouTube entities. Then we have let's go db dot departments dot, we need it to be listed as a list, and here you go. So let's list all those departments in our select option. So we need for each to list for each variable, let's call it variable item in our dep. So we need it as option, so we need to add that to options. Then what do we want the user to see? We want the user to see item dot department. That's what we need users to see as options. But we need to save the department ID in our database. So we need to take the item dot ID, because if you remember, we linked department with dep ID. So the name, the ID which will be saved as foreign key in our employees name should be dep ID. That's right. Then we can just pick this class here to make it look more fancier. And then this should be also required. You should not be able to save without that. Then yeah, here you have, I already had registered departments. So here we will list, let's just take all of this and delete that. Let's take something like employees, emp, and list all employees. Then just add some details here, like the name, and then maybe ID number, then maybe like phone, and the other details I won't add all of them. So let's call first name, F name, in emp we need employee here, and maybe we might add the department, the department for the year from department. So let's add dot name, first name, and we need to also list second name, because some users might have the same name, and maybe yes, name. Then we need maybe date added here at the end. Date added. So here we need the ID number, not item, dot ID number. Then here we might need the phone here, the phone. This is the grid, if you remember, and then the department. So this is how we call the department. The tables are already linked. So we go item dot department. Then we need the user to see the name, and you need to pick the name. And maybe we might do apply, so that they should be standardized. And now we need to save this employee. We have collected his details, but how do we save employees? So this will call an action called save employee, which we will create right now. This public action result, then we should return the partial view, which is add employee, register employee. Here it is. Then we might add here HTTP post. We might call HTTP post, and then. So if you remember how we did it in our last when we tried to save departments, this is how we do it. We call the table we want to save employees from, then we initialize it. Then we add details which we have not captured. Make it added, which should be date time dot now. Then we call employees and add that data, then db dot save changes. Let's save changes, and that's all, guys. Let's see how it behaves or misbehaves. Let's hope it behaves. Nikikutazama moyo wayoyoma, kipenzi changu na kuyanza. Nikikutazama moyo wayoyoma, kipenzi changu na kuyanza. Huenda leo niko chini. So here it is. So we need this register employee, and just like that, we forgot to use our partial view. We forgot to use the partial view, which we really need to make our form look decent. Which we need our form to look decent. We need that for our forms to look very decent. So we need that layout. And how do we call that layout? This is how we call it. Layout. The layout should be included here. Yes. We need to include our layout. We need a view bar. And include it to our layout. Let's use this. So let's come here and register employees. So here we are. Then this is not in areas, this is in views, shared, layout. That's it. That's it. I need that layout. I need that layout. We didn't need that layout. And just like that, our layout is here. Let's use class table form, no? to make these rings look decent, a little bit decent. Let's use a class table, then form. So here we are. Let's add names here. Let's add the date of birth. No, it should be okay. Then our ID number, our phone number, then our department. As you can see, let's register this guy Joseph in the department of IT. Yeah? Voila! Here it is. Let's register another guy like data Mutugi, and then our ID number, and then our phone number, and then department revenue. That's it, guys. So as you can see, these guys, we are linking them to ICT like that. So in our next section, we'll be looking on how we can affect the data, like edit the name, edit the phone number, and save, and then like that. So guys, stay tuned. Love you all. Adios, muchachos.